Hello, my friend. Have you ever gone silent when it mattered most? Walked away from a conversation saying, "Oh, why didn't I say that?" Or felt your message got completely lost in translation? Well, you are not alone and you're in the right place. Welcome to Breaking Bad Communication, where we challenge the habits, headspace, and hangups that keep you from being heard. I'm Kathy Riley, communication strategist, founder of the Clarity Code, and your guide with over 25 years in the courtroom and 15 years as a speaker, trainer, and entrepreneur. This podcast is your real world playbook for mastering tough conversations, building unshakable confidence, and showing up with the kind of clarity that changes everything from the boardroom to the break room to your own backyard. So if you're ready to ditch the second guessing and speak in a way that actually lands and builds trust, let's break bad together. I am super excited because I have a special guest with us today. Dorice Horenstein. Okay, this woman is an international resilience speaker, author, and positive intelligence expert. She works with leaders and organizations to reignite engagement, strengthen mental fitness, and use winning mindset tools to overcome disconnection and lead with clarity, resilience, and joy. She is the author of Moments of the Heart, which received the Gold Award from the Nonfiction Authors Association, and Choose to Be Your Own Champion, the six-step playbook to become your best self. Releasing October 14th, 2005. Woohoo! So before launching her speaking career, Doris spent 30 years in education, including 16 years in educational leadership, writing K through 12 curriculum, teaching and managing a staff and a volunteer team of more than 40. Doris is also the president-elect for the National Speakers Association in Oregon. Please help me welcome Miss Doris. Yay!
Wow, wow, wow. I'm so happy to be here with you. I feel just
Oh,
so special. I feel so special. So thank you. Thank you, my friend, whom I met at the influence in the bathroom. May we say
yes! So, okay,
that?
for clarity purposes, we were
Only.
admiring each other's sparkles.
Mm-hmm.
And I swear, so here's what I know about being, a CEO, right? A business owner and a networker. The true networking happens in two places, not at the event. For women, let me clarify, for women, it happens in the bar and it
Mhm.
happens in the bathroom.
That's
And
right.
we connected. You're a sister from a different mister. We
Um,
have, yes, we
yes.
just had an amazing connection.
I want to tell you, I loved your energy. And here I was washing my hands, and then you start talking to me. And usually, like, I'm extroverted, like, I would talk, but I loved how you just like, okay, hi, my name is Kathy. I'm like, "Wait, I like this woman. I like this woman. Non-pretentious, non-pretentious, and just real. And I love real because I think real is authentic, and real is the only place where we can be that no one else can be. You know, no one else. Some people can mimic,
Thank
but they're
you.
not real. So here you go. Thank you for being
Thank
my
you.
friend, for choosing me. Thank you for choosing me in the restroom. I appreciate that.
Thank you. I received that. I received that. And I can just also say is stop. Just stop, right? And for those that are listening, I've got my one hand up that's a stop and the other one that's waving saying, "Come on, more, more,
A-
more, please."
Absolutely.
Um
We love it. Okay, but you're bringing something so important. Don't we love people acknowledging who we are, seeing who we are, because I think that's the beginning of good communication is when I
Yeah.
see you and when I talk to you, not as a name by itself, but as a person that has feelings, that have emotions, that have desires, that have,
Yeah.
ways of seeing the world and envisioning how they can show up in the best. So if I see you for who you truly are, not only do I make another friend, but I make somebody who cares then about the relationship. I think
Yes.
that's what it is.
So good. And here's what I will say, something that I've learned because we were just talking about that I'm an introvert and I
Mhm.
have learned how to show up otherwise. And one of the things that I have found that's a foundation to me, it's authentic to me as a core, is I love giving, and mostly women love receiving compliments. And how hard is it to give a compliment? So even as an introvert who's gets afraid to network and all of that, I can always say, "Oh, I like those shoes. Oh, I love that." So when I see something that makes me go, "Ooh," I'm part raccoon. It sparkles. I'm like, "Ooh," I give a compliment. And look what it resulted
Yes.
in.
You know what? You are bringing brilliant. I mean, we're going to talk about all sorts of stuff, but here's what I think. I think a lot of us women need to pay attention not only to receiving the compliment, but also to giving it. Because look how it makes us feel. It's when I give a compliment to someone else, I feel that it's not only elevating the person, the receiver, but it's making me feel better. Making me, but the fact that I'm giving you a compliment does not put me down. And if you come with
Yes.
a competitive mindset, it's like, oh, if I'm telling her that she's, let's say, if I'm telling Kathy the truth, you're so successful, this is so amazing, it should never make me feel bad, like, oh, I'm not as successful as Kathy, should I be right? That
Right?
self-talk in our brain to talk us down. If I give her, that means I'm taking it away from me. No, 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 no. I'm giving a compliment and we are creating the pie just a little bit bigger. Just like what NSA
Yeah.
always tells us, right? This is the idea of grow the
Right.
pie. And it grow the pie not only in business, but in compliments, in seeing who the other person is. I was the other day, I was having coffee with networking with another individual in the coffee house nearby my house. And so at the end, I was putting my coffee away and in the big bucket, wanting to go. This older woman says to me, "Oh, Dory," she didn't say Dory, she does not know me, but she says, "You have beautiful eyes. Oh my gosh, and your curls are gorgeous." And I don't know this woman at all. And I stopped for a second and I looked at her and I said, "Thank you so much." And she says, "Well, I've been in the professional world. I'm now retired, but I've been so long and I know how compliments make other people feel. So why wouldn't I give it?" And she was like speaking my language. And here it came up again. So, yes, the first thing in good communication, share a good word, share a
Yeah.
positive thing that lifts people up.
Compliments are so, I love that. Thank you for leading us down this path, because it's so true. So my company is called Sharing the Shine, okay? Because for my first 10 years as an entrepreneur, I was direct sales and jewelry. Because here's what I learned as an introvert: I didn't have to teach you or sell you on pretties. All I had to do is put them out on the table and shut up. So it was really, really good business model for that. But with the psychology behind it, and something that I really, really paid attention, is people are like, "Oh, I love this piece of jewelry. I get so many compliments when I wear it." And
It makes me feel pretty. It makes me feel pretty.
yes, and then that boosts confidence, right? So they walk taller, their shoulders, right, their heads up. They're like, "I'm all that just because I wear this necklace or I have this bracelet on or whatever." And so
Mhm.
there's huge value to giving compliments.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. This is important. It's important, and it's not only in your workplace, but your relationship with your partner, with your children, because so many children, part of my business is I coach younger 13-year-old, 12-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-old. And some of the things is like sometimes parents are so, I mean, they love their kids. All of my clients, their parents, they're very loved. Yet sometimes the parents are so hard on the kid and they're just seeing what the kid can improve in rather than where they are right now, that is beautiful in the journey of life in a teenager, where those kids are mostly in a black tunnel and they have to have some flashlights to go, and that's these flashlights are the adults. And sometimes
Yeah.
we forget to give the good words to our own children. Sometimes my kids used to remind me, it's like, "Mom, what have I done that is good?" Because I would tell them, "Oh, all these things need to fix. What have I done that is good?" And I'm thinking, well, you know that. And they may know it. We all know how good we are. but it's something completely different when we use the different senses, the auditory, sense to hear it and say, oh, that's good. Because
Yeah.
hearing is important. And then listening to what people say as a response, right?
Yeah.
Hearing and listening, that another level of amazing communication is when we allow time to listen, and we have to be open, and then to be speaking it, like how do we hear it and how do we say it back? Yeah. I
Ah,
mean, so many things in
so good.
communication, right?
Because one of the things that I learned, as a parent, but I'm also, a daughter, right? I've got siblings, and growing up in the Midwest, compliments were not doled out very often, especially as a girl, right? We were to be seen and not heard. I
Mm.
was told to sit down and shut
Mhm.
up, I don't know how many times.
Oh.
And yet and the way our brain works also is we have a tendency that we could hear 100 things. Well, let's go 99 things that are positive. We hear that one thing negative, and we're stuck there.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. I think women more than men, we are very susceptible to to how we handle criticism. But talking about upbringing, I grew up with three other sisters and a brother. So in a house full of women, oh, we were heard and we were listened to. And Middle Eastern, we're kind of loud. And so so I do not remember a time where I was asked to be quiet and sit to the side. I mean, in our
Oh,
family, that
goodness.
yeah, very powered women. There was no, 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 no. The opposite. We had to train our brother to sit there and listen to us. The opposite.
So, based on this conversation, because this is really, really good. So, for those of you're listening to this, if you are, let's say you're somebody like me who was told to sit down and shut up, or like you've got you're a parent, right? You're raising kids, and we have a tendency to focus on the negative, and we do that because we want to help, right?
Yes,
So,
we want to help.
how do we shift from that negative to the positive?
Well, here is the first thing. We want to help, and we are negative because this is the way our brains was formed in the beginning of time, right? When we were cave people, we needed to be aware of the dangerous that are ahead, the dangerous, the poisonous leaf, the dangerous animal, whatever. So our brain automatically is leaning more into the negative. In order to go into the positive, as you're saying, there needs to be a practice that over time that becomes a habit, right? A practice become a habit, which means you don't do it one time or two times. It's not like, oh, I'm going to give one compliment here, one compliment there, and now I can call myself a compliment giver. No, it's a practice. And for that to happen, my dear, we need to change our neural pathways. As a positive intelligence expert, this is where I come in, because you can tell somebody, be more empathetic, compliment more, be nicer. But if you don't work on the seed of the problem, mindset, that may work for a week or two or three or maybe even a month or two. But eventually you'll go back to where you were at the beginning, your base level, which is the positive. In order to really truly change that, you got to change your neural pathways in your own brain. And how do we do it? There's only one way. There's only one freaking way to change your mindset from negative to positive.
Tell us. Come on. Don't stop now.
Yeah, well, here we go. So the negative, so when we talk about neuroscience, the negative emotions starts with a thought, right? A negative thought, danger, fear, insecurity, stress, whatever, creates that feeling, right? That lives in the left side of your brain in the limbic system. That's where it lives, those negative emotions. Positive emotions live on a total different space in your brain, in the prefrontal cortex, part of the right brain, part of the empathy circuitry. In order to move there, you can't just talk to yourself. You got to actually pay attention to the physicality of your body. You have to breathe in a certain way. You have to imagine no thoughts in your brain. Like imagine your brain like a white canvas. No thoughts. And all you focus on is the physicality of your body. All the senses, your hearing, your touching, your visual, your taste, right? You're touching your fingers to each other. What we call this whole process in positive intelligence called a PQ, which is an acronym for positive intelligence quotient. This is what happens. So if every day you get up in the morning and you do 5 minutes of PQ version,
Yeah.
and then you do it throughout the day, that's where you train your neural pathways, which, by the way, our brain has 100 billion neurons. And those 100 billion neurons make a connection and therefore create 500 trillion connections. And not every connection works, right? But the more neurons wire together, the more they fire together, the more you create that practice and that habit. And that's what happens when you do it over and over and over again. You create that habit. So, for example, people talk about the gratitude, the attitude of gratitude, right? They talk about it all the
Yeah.
time. So, if you do it all the time, and let's say every day you say after you do a PQ, because you can be grateful if you're coming from left side of brain, it doesn't exist there because gratitude is a positive emotion. It lives on the other side. So, if you're pissed off or feeling insecurity, or you have self doubt, or you're stressed, you at that moment you cannot feel gratitude. You gotta pause, you gotta do PQ so you can move your neural pathways to the other side, and then you will say to yourself, okay, what am I grateful for right at this moment? Even if the bad thing doesn't go away. You see, the bad thing does not go away. It's how we respond to what happens rather than react to what happens. So anyway, I don't want to take over, but
Oh.
I'm just giving you the
No,
tools.
this is so good. This is so good. So I got so what I'm here you're saying. Well, first of all, let's go there. So this new habit, okay, so this process that we do. Um you often hear old dogs can't learn new tricks.
Absolutely
Is
not true. Absolutely not true. Our brain there is a neuroplasticity in our brain. Our brain can reshape and reform itself. The only way this is true is when the individual chooses not to change. If you choose not to change, no expert in the world will come and change you because here's the thing, we are the product of our choices. And by golly, if we don't figure this out, really, come on. Now, here's a little sentence here because I know that sometimes people when they hear me say it for the first time, they're like, "Oh, nails on a chalkboard. What do you mean we can change?" Here's what I want to say. Um, it doesn't mean that what happened to us in our lives is our doing, is our. Sometimes things happen, shit happens. It happens to us in our life. What's on us is how we then respond to the things that happen to us in our lives. And it's okay that at the beginning we are sad, we are mad, we cry, we all these negative emotions, they're actually good to have. The question is, how long do you want to feel those negative emotions? Right? That to me is the key because some people love to stay. I mean, they don't say that, but they love to stay in the victim space, in the oh me, oh my, it happened to me, and they can't see themselves getting out of that. Well, if you keep on in that cycle of feeling sorry for yourself and feeling it's like you leave your hand on the hot stove and you don't care that it gets burnt because you just rather be there in that sad moment, and relive it all the time. I've been there, right? I've been there. There's things that I talk from the stage where I give an example of I was like feeling so, I am, righteous. This has happened to me and I'm going to be this. And then who who care? Who it only is I only there was the only one suffering. Nobody could care less. I was the one suffering. So then I came to my senses. I'm like, Doris, how long are you going to be feeling this? And I'm like, no, changing. Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Okay. Okay, my friends, for those that of you that are listening, I want you to hear what she's saying. And I also want, if this is good and valid, make sure you subscribe to this. Okay, because we are here at Breaking Bad Communication to give you tools to break bad. Okay. Communication is the foundation of happiness. So you're going to learn so much. And Miss Doris here, Dorice, I apologize, is just she's just laying down nuggets of gold right here, right now. So
You.
based on this conversation, it's also when we have situations, right, that are things that happen. Yeah, I'm somebody that had 4 surgeries in 5 months. Okay, I nearly lost my life. And you know what? I didn't plan and expect, and I also didn't necessarily take responsibility. But I did. For me, it was also about perspective.
Hmm.
So talk to me a little bit about when these situations happen, where the insanity happens. We're stuck in traffic, right? We stub our toe. We lose a loved one, right? We go through a divorce. Something
Hmm.
happens. I think perspective is so important. And again, perspective is a choice, which is what you were just talking about. So,
Yeah.
so lay a
I
little bit more on me
Yeah.
on this.
Okay. Well, first of all, I love the word perspective. And because I speak Hebrew fluently, many times when I think of words that people say, in my brain, I have that language center lit up. And the word perspective in Hebrew is called nekudat mabat, which means the view from my point. The view from my point. So a perspective is where you have a particular perspective from where you stand. And there is a very wise old saying that says, we see the world from where we are, not from where it is. So, in other words, how we look at this can really determine how we then are going to react in life. Now, when bad things happen, and they do, like, I mean, I'm Jewish. I mean, we have the Holocaust. We have, I mean, other calamities that befell our people. I understand that very deeply, deeply, that
Yeah.
sometimes bad things happen to us. And here's my the way that I look at things. First of all, because I am a mental fitness expert, I have a bit easier time to lean into the gifts and opportunities that even bad things bring. However, I don't recommend that to be done with a person who is not mentally fit, because it's like going to the gym. I can't expect somebody to lift the 75 pounders when they've never lifted even 10 pounds. Okay. So take whatever I'm saying with a way of like, I need to grow to be in that level of practice. Sometimes I fall myself short of that practice, right? If we all were like the Dalai Lama, things will be like amazing, because we will be changing the world in our mind in a very quick and instant way. However, most of us are human, and most of us have saboteurs that come up against us and derail us from being the champion within ourselves. And we know that. We all of us have this judgment. We have one big saboteur. It's called the judge. And that judge really is the seeds, the impetus of us having the negative emotions that we're having. Yet, when bad things happen, so after I said all of this, and after we talked about perspective, um, I think we have to look at, I don't it's a mixture of curiosity, empathy, and then what do we want to leave as the legacy? So it's a combination of these three things. It's curiosity in a way without judgment. Okay, this is my situation right now. What, how can I pivot? How can I change? How can I make things 5% better than what it is right now? Okay, so that's that place of curiosity. But you can't do it if you don't have empathy to where you are. So have an empathy to the space that you are, have those feelings, and don't let the negative feelings feed you. The opposite, you fuel the feeling that you want to see happen. Okay, you fuel it,
Oh.
rather than because our brain will tell our feelings, and then our feelings, when it's in a loop, at a certain point, it becomes the action, right? So let's control our feelings. Our feelings are the data at this point in time. Can you change your feelings? The feeling of resentment, the feeling of, why me? Why now? All of these, you have to ask, how does that serve me at this point in my life? Feeling those feelings. And then wrap it up with what is the legacy? Because I think, Kathy, that legacy is, people talk a lot about legacy, but you know what bottom line legacy is? Legacy is what you do every day. That's the legacy that you're going to leave. It's not something like, oh, I don't know what my legacy is. Yes, you do. We all know. Just look back at the last 2 months and how you behaved. That's your legacy. So you decide how you want to move forward. It's, yeah, I think people are making this legacy. Look, I don't know, when I die, what would my legacy be? Zero in, buddy. Zero in. You know, Legacy is
Yes.
what you are making every single day. Yes, people will see it after you die, but what do you want them to say about you? And what you want them to say about you is how you're behaving now. They don't know your thoughts, they don't know your feelings, they know your actions. So how do you set yourself up? That to me is so.
Oh, I love that. And I heard this over the last 6 months, and I'm going to say it wrong, and I think somebody famous said it, but basically, you die twice. The
Mm,
first time is when you physically die, right? And the second time is when the last person speaks of you.
oh, mm-hmm.
Isn't that
That's
powerful? I
very
mean,
powerful.
and that truly is your legacy.
Mm-hmm.
So whether, your children or your grandchildren and all of those, whether the people, the books that you've written, right? The
Mm-hmm.
books that you've
Mm-hmm.
written, the marks that all of that,
Yeah.
that's part of your legacy. Okay, so I know we want to. I've got one last question for you before
Yeah.
we hop into the popcorn. So, and it's kind of tying into what we were just talking about. So, kind of cracks me up that it does. Okay, how can someone shift from a reactionary communication to intentional communication? Like where you go that emotion, right? To
Mm-hmm.
actually, so especially in like high stress areas.
I'm going to give you the best advice any coach would give you. Okay. This is like the $1 million word that I'm going to give you. It's an acronym, but the word is wait. Wait.
Ooh.
And it stands for, why am I talking?
Say that
Do
again for us. Say that again for us, please.
so wait, WAIT, why am I talking? When something happens to you and you want not to be reactionist, pause, wait, breathe, do the PQ. Think to yourself, I don't need to talk right now. I just need right now to reclaim my strength, my sage mindset that will tell me where I need to be. It will save you from reaction and saying things that you shouldn't say, right? So hold on, close your mouth, right? I mean, God gave us teeth. Why? To guard our tongue. You do not need sometimes
Oh,
to, you
mic drop
do,
there.
I know, right? The teeth, can you imagine somebody with no teeth, right? Everything comes out. God gave us teeth to guard our tongue. And our tongue, I grew up in a family that my mother would tell me, especially when I was in high school, a lot. And she would say, Dorice, words can build and words can destroy. Watch your words. She would tell me, this is my mother. She's very smart. I mean, my mother is amazing and extremely wise. And yeah, I mean, I talk about her other times in videos and whatever, and my stories. My mom is like a champion for sure. But from her, I learned words can build and words can destroy. Watch the words that we say.
Oh, so powerful. Oh my goodness. So you've just laid down so much wisdom today. It's pretty amazing. How can our listeners find you?
Oh, well, my website, DoriceHorenstein.com. Make
Okay.
sure you spell my name DoriceHorenstein, and you will find all sorts of information. You can contact me through that page. There is plenty of places. And of course, I'm on LinkedIn and I have newsletter and I have my email and all that good stuff. And so if you're interested, A, bringing me to your community in whatever capacity, this what you're just hearing now, or longer workshops and training and keynotes, please do contact me. I would love that.
Love it. And for those of you driving, stay safe, right? Don't write anything down. The
Absolutely.
link is in the show notes. So all you got to do is go click on the profile, and there it is, and you can connect with her. This is so powerful. And did you have a free gift for our listeners today?
Yes, yes. As a matter of fact, I believe I sent you the link for a PQ session. So it's like a
Ooh.
7 minutes of me taking you through a neural pathway exchange. So when I move your brain waves, really, literally, in 7 minutes from left to right, from what sabotages you to where your sage wisdom is, where you are able to access positive emotions and positive feelings. So definitely take me up on that. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Everybody sign up. Again, the link is gonna, I'm giving you the link so in the show notes. So just click on this, whether you're listening on Spotify or Apple or YouTube or whatever, you're gonna get the link. So we're gonna shift gears here real quick, and we're just gonna get a little fun and get to know you a little bit. So this is popcorn style questions. Don't overthink anything.
okay, okay.
Um, so would you say you are a morning or night person?
Morning,
Morning. Ah. And would you say you like it sweet or salty?
salty,
Salty. Yeah, I am too. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So if you were to have a delicious meal, would it be dinner at home or would it be at a restaurant?
at the restaurant, because that
The
doesn't mean that I'm cooking.
right? I love it. I love it. So if you wanted something to like comfort you, would you eat it or drink it?
Eat it.
Eat it. Okay, yeah. I'm a tea, so I like that tea always.
Oh, they
Oh,
come. I love tea too. I love tea too. Yes. Yeah, but I like,
so
yeah, I'll go both. But the first thought, I was thinking either alcohol or food, and I'm not that much of an alcohol drinker, so I said
mhm.
food. You know,
Okay, got it. Got it. All right. Beach or mountain?
beach.
Beach. Got the
Hmm.
sand between your toes.
The ocean, I want to see the water. Water to me is so
Yeah.
purifying. Oh, nothing
Oh,
like it.
me too. Me too. Even though I live in the mountains, but
Uh,
I got to get to the beach every year. Okay, if you were to read a book, paper or Kindle?
paper.
Paper, yeah. You like feeling it.
Hmm.
All right, if you were to be entertained, would it be a movie or a series?
That's a good question. I mean, if I'm outside a movie, if I'm Netflixing with my husband on the sofa, then it's a series.
Yeah. I love it. We just finished Ted Lasso. That was pretty
Oh,
awesome.
amazing. We love that. Yes. Oh,
That
mm,
I can't tell you how many people are like, you sound like Ted Lasso. And I'm like, who is this guy? So finally I'm like, okay, I get it. I get it.
totally is great.
Um,
Oh, there's
okay.
some good liners in that. Oh,
Well, the
excellent.
whole goldfish thing, which is what I say on occasion, which is where it got the connection there. Okay, and last question. Um, you are taking stage, right? Or you're walking in a room, kind of like Zoolander, right? I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. What is your walk-on song?
Oh, happy feet.
Oh, I love that. Happy feet. That's so awesome. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for sharing your time and talents here with all of us at Breaking Bad Communication. This was so good. You laid down so much wisdom. I thank you from my core, from my heart. I just feel very blessed to be here. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for inviting me on this beautiful day. And I'm so happy that we got connected in the bathroom.
Great. So, and my friends, listeners, thank you for tuning in to Breaking Bad Communication. If today's episode sparked a new perspective or gave you a tool you can actually use, then that's the kind of conversation we love. Remember, powerful communication isn't about saying more. It's not about saying more, my friends. It's about saying what matters with confidence, clarity, and purpose. And if you're ready to speak up, stand out, and lead with your voice, I'm here for it, and I'm here for you. Be sure to share or leave a review if this hits home with you. Until the next time, keep showing up, keep speaking up, and let's keep breaking bad together.